Every person carries the potential to grow and transform. Life is not fixed. Abilities are not permanent. Circumstances can change. The secret to success is not always extraordinary talent. It is not sudden luck or perfect conditions. It is the small, consistent actions taken every single day. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment to start. They wait for motivation. They wait for opportunity. They wait for inspiration. But the truth is, the perfect moment rarely arrives on its own. The real power lies in action. Even a small effort today creates momentum. Even a small improvement today sets the foundation for greater progress. Tomorrow, improvement is a journey. It is not an event. It is a process of learning, a process of practicing, a process of becoming. Every day provides a chance to grow, a chance to become stronger, a chance to become wiser, a chance to become closer to the person you want to be. Imagine a young person who wants to become a skilled musician. If they wait for a perfect day to practice, they may wait forever. But if they practice even 10 minutes every day, over months and years, their skills multiply. The small daily effort compounds into mastery. This book is about that compounding effect. It is about turning small, consistent actions into extraordinary transformation. We will explore many aspects of daily improvement. The mindset required to begin, the habits that strengthen progress, the courage to face fear and laziness, the strategies to learn faster, the discipline that turns intention into action, the effective use of time, the power of positive thinking. Each chapter provides examples and practical approaches, stories of ordinary people who made extraordinary progress through daily effort. This book does not promise overnight success. It does not promise magic solutions. Instead, it provides a roadmap, a guide for anyone who wants to improve one day at a time, one small step at a time. The journey begins with a simple decision: to become better today than yesterday, to take one small action, to embrace growth as a daily habit, through consistent effort, through learning from experience, through facing challenges with courage. Every person can transform their life. This is the journey of becoming better every single day. A journey that begins with awareness, continues with action, and grows stronger with each passing day. By the end of this book, you will understand that improvement is not a distant goal. It is a daily choice, a practice, a way of living. And by making that choice every day, your life can become stronger, richer, and more fulfilling than you ever imagined. Chapter 1. The decision to improve. Every great journey begins with a simple decision. The decision is not loud, and it does not always come with applause. Sometimes it happens quietly inside the mind of a person who is tired of standing still. That moment becomes the starting line of change. Many people want success. Many people want growth. But wanting alone does not create progress. The real power begins when a person chooses improvement every single day. Improvement is not about becoming perfect in one moment. It is about moving forward, step by step. A small step today becomes a stronger step tomorrow. A stronger step tomorrow becomes a confident path in the future. Think about a seed in the soil. The seed does not become a tall tree in one night. It grows slowly. It pushes through the earth. It reaches for light. Each day it becomes a little stronger. Human growth works the same way. A person who becomes better every day understands a powerful truth. Small actions repeated daily create big results. Imagine two students. The first student studies hard only during exams. The second student studies a little every single day. After 1 year, the difference between them becomes clear. The second student understands more, feels more confident, and learns. The difference was not talent. The difference was daily improvement. This idea can be seen in many areas of life. Consider a young man named Amir. Amir dreamed of becoming a writer. But he believed he was not talented enough. Every time he tried to write, he stopped after a few minutes. He felt frustrated and discouraged. One day, Amir made a simple decision. He decided to write 1 page every day. Only 1 page. Not 10 pages, not a full book, just 1 page. At first, the writing felt difficult. Some days the words were slow. Some days he doubted himself. But he kept his promise to himself. 1 page every day. After 30 days, he had 30 pages. After 3 months, he had more than 90 pages. After 1 year, he had hundreds of pages. That daily habit slowly transformed him. His writing improved. His confidence improved. His ideas became clearer. Amir did not become better in one dramatic moment. He became better through quiet daily effort. The power of daily improvement also appears in physical health. Imagine a woman named Sarah. Sarah wanted to become healthier, but she felt overwhelmed by the idea of intense workouts and strict diets. So she chose a simple path. She decided to walk for 15 minutes every day. 15 minutes felt easy. It did not scare her. It did not exhaust her. The first week she walked slowly. The second week she felt more comfortable. After 1 month she began to enjoy the movement. Her energy increased. Her mood improved. Her body became stronger. Eventually she extended her walks to 30 minutes. Then she added light exercise. All of this began with one small daily step. Many people believe improvement requires huge motivation, but often the opposite is true. Improvement requires consistency more than motivation. Motivation can rise and fall like waves in the ocean. Some days motivation is strong. Some days it disappears. Consistency remains steady. A person who improves every day follows a simple rule. Do something small, even when you do not feel like it. A student reads 5 pages. A runner jogs for 10 minutes. A learner practices a skill for 20 minutes. These actions may look small, but when repeated daily, they reshape the future. Think of learning a language. If someone studies a language for 3 hours in 1 day, then stops for a month, progress becomes slow. But if another person studies 15 minutes every day, the brain continues to build connections. Day after day, new words become familiar. New sounds become easier. Confidence grows naturally. The daily learner eventually surpasses the occasional learner. Daily improvement also changes the way a person sees challenges. When people expect instant success, failure feels painful. It feels like proof that they cannot succeed. But a person who focuses on daily growth sees failure differently. Failure becomes information. Failure becomes feedback. Failure becomes part of the learning process. Consider a young basketball player named Bilal. Bilal wanted to improve his shooting skill. In the beginning, he missed many shots. Sometimes he felt embarrassed in front of his friends. But his coach gave him a simple instruction. Practice 50 shots every day. Bilal followed the instruction. Some days he made 20 shots. Some days he made 30. But he continued practicing daily. After several months, his accuracy improved greatly. His muscles remembered the motion. His confidence grew. The daily practice turned weakness into strength. The same pattern appears in business and entrepreneurship. Imagine a small shop owner named Hassan. Hassan wanted to grow his business. Instead of waiting for a big opportunity, he focused on daily improvements. Each day, he asked himself one question. What small change can make my shop better today? One day, he improved the product display. Another day, he greeted customers more warmly. Another day, he learned about marketing. These small adjustments slowly increased customer satisfaction. More people recommended his shop. Sales increased steadily. Daily improvement created long-term success. One important truth about daily growth is patience. People often underestimate what can happen in a year. but they overestimate what can happen in one day. Improvement is rarely dramatic in the beginning. Progress may feel invisible, but hidden progress is still progress. Imagine saving money. If a person saves a small amount each day, the amount may look tiny, but after many months, the total becomes meaningful. Daily improvement works like compound interest in personal development. Knowledge compounds, skills compound, confidence compounds. Each small effort builds on the previous effort. Another powerful part of daily growth is identity. When a person repeats a positive action daily, that action becomes part of their identity. A person who writes daily begins to see themselves as a writer. A person who studies daily begins to see themselves as a learner. A person who exercises daily begins to see themselves as an active person. Identity strengthens habits. Habits strengthen identity. This cycle creates lasting change. Consider a young woman named Aisha, who wanted to become confident in public speaking. At first, she felt nervous speaking in front of others. Her voice trembled and her mind felt blank. Instead of avoiding speaking, she practiced a little every day. She recorded herself speaking for 5 minutes. She watched the recording and learned from it. She practiced again the next day. After several weeks, she noticed improvement. Her voice became clearer. Her posture became stronger. Later, she joined small speaking groups to practice with others. Eventually, she gave a presentation at her workplace. The same person who once feared speaking now spoke with confidence. Her transformation did not happen overnight. It happened through daily courage and practice. Daily improvement also requires awareness. A person must notice their habits, notice their thoughts, notice their actions. Awareness allows a person to ask important questions. What helped me improve today? What slowed me down today? What can I do slightly better tomorrow? These questions guide growth. Even 5 minutes of reflection each evening can strengthen improvement. Imagine ending each day by writing 3 simple thoughts. 1 thing learned today. 1 thing done well today. 1 thing to improve tomorrow. This habit keeps the mind focused on progress. Over time, the brain begins to search for improvement naturally. Another key element of daily growth is environment. People are strongly influenced by the environments around them. A clean, steady space encourages learning. A supportive group encourages effort. A positive atmosphere encourages persistence. For example, a young student named Hamza struggled with studying at home because the environment was noisy and distracting. He decided to visit a quiet library in that calm space. Concentration became easier. His study habit became consistent. His academic results improved. Sometimes improving daily requires changing the surroundings that shape behavior. Support from other people can also strengthen daily progress. Friends who encourage effort, mentors who share guidance, family members who believe in potential. These people create energy and motivation. However, daily improvement must ultimately come from personal commitment. No one can practice on your behalf. No one can build your discipline for you. The responsibility belongs to the individual. That responsibility is not heavy when broken into small daily actions. Improve 1% today. Improve 1% tomorrow. Continue the process. After many days, the difference becomes extraordinary. Think again about the seed growing into a tree. The seed does not rush. The seed simply grows according to nature. Daily sunlight, daily water, daily time. Eventually, the tree becomes strong enough to provide shade, fruit, and beauty. Human potential follows a similar pattern. Every person carries seeds of talent, ability, creativity, and strength. Daily improvement provides the sunlight and water that help those seeds grow. The most important step is the first decision. The decision to become slightly better every single day. Not perfect. Not unstoppable. Just better than yesterday. That simple commitment can transform a life. And the journey of daily growth begins now. Chapter 2. Building Powerful Daily Habits. Every improvement in life begins with a habit. Habits shape the direction of a human life. A single habit repeated every day slowly builds a powerful future. Many people believe success comes from talent or luck. But if we observe closely, we see that successful people often follow strong daily habits. Habits are actions that become natural through repetition. When a habit becomes strong, the mind no longer needs to struggle to perform it. The action becomes part of daily living. Think about brushing teeth. Most people do not wake up and struggle to decide whether they should brush their teeth. They simply do it. The habit has become automatic. In the same way, powerful habits can guide improvement every single day. A person who wants to grow must learn how habits are formed and how they become strong. Every habit begins with a small action repeated consistently. At first, the action may feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar, but through repetition, the brain slowly accepts the action as normal. Consider a young boy named Imran who wanted to become better at mathematics. In the beginning, mathematics felt difficult for him. Numbers confused him, and problems felt frustrating. Instead of avoiding the subject, he made a simple plan. He decided to practice mathematics for 20 minutes every evening. The first few days felt slow. Sometimes he wanted to stop. But he reminded himself that 20 minutes was not too much. So he continued practicing daily. After several weeks, something interesting happened. The problems that once felt confusing started to make sense. His mind became more comfortable with numbers. His confidence slowly grew. After several months, mathematics was no longer frightening. It became one of his strongest subjects. The change happened because of a simple daily habit. Habits work like small builders, constructing a strong house. Each day a small brick is placed. One brick may look small and unimportant, but thousands of bricks create a solid structure. A person who improves daily understands the importance of building habits carefully. Strong habits often begin with small, easy actions. Many people fail because they begin with goals that are too large. They promise themselves dramatic changes. They promise long hours of work or extreme effort. But when the mind feels overwhelmed, it searches for excuses. Soon the plan disappears. Small habits are different. Small habits feel manageable. Small habits allow the mind to accept change without resistance. Imagine a woman named Nadia who wanted to start reading more books. For many years, she believed she did not have enough time to read. She often bought books, but rarely finished them. One day, she promised herself to read 2 pages every night before sleeping. 2 pages felt easy. It did not feel heavy or demanding. During the first week, she read 2 pages each night. During the second week, she often read more because she became interested in the stories. Months passed and reading became a natural part of her evenings. In 1 year, she finished many books. Her knowledge expanded and her imagination became richer. All of this growth started from the habit of reading 2 pages. Habits become stronger when they are connected to existing. For example, a person may choose to stretch their body every morning after waking up, or practice gratitude before sleeping, or drink water before breakfast. Connecting a new habit to an existing routine makes the habit easier to remember. The mind begins to link the 2 actions together. Another example can be seen in a young man named Kareem who wanted to learn drawing. Kareem loved art, but he rarely practiced. His busy schedule distracted him. So he created a new habit. Every evening after dinner, he would draw for 15 minutes. Dinner was already a daily routine. By connecting drawing with dinner, he created a clear signal for the habit. Every night after finishing his meal, he opened his sketchbook. At first, his drawings were simple. Lines were rough and shapes were uneven. But with daily practice, His hands became more steady. His observation improved. His creativity expanded. After 1 year, his artwork surprised many people. The daily habit quietly developed his talent. Another important element of powerful habits is consistency. Consistency means continuing the habit even when motivation feels weak. Motivation often rises at the beginning of a new goal. People feel excited and energetic. But after some time, the excitement fades. This moment tests discipline. The person who continues the habit despite low motivation becomes stronger. Consider the example of a runner named Ali. Ali decided to improve his fitness by running every morning. During the first week, he felt energetic. Fresh air and movement felt wonderful. But during the second week, he faced rainy weather. The bed felt warm and comfortable. His mind whispered many excuses. You can rest today. You can run tomorrow. But Ali remembered his commitment to daily improvement. So he wore his running shoes and stepped outside. The run was not perfect. The distance was shorter. But he completed the habit. That single decision strengthened his discipline. Every time a person repeats a habit despite resistance, the habit becomes stronger. Another secret of habit building is patience. People often expect quick transformation, but habits require time to become deeply rooted. In the beginning, a mind must remember the habit consciously. Later, the action becomes automatic. Imagine learning to play a musical instrument. A young girl named Fatima wanted to learn the guitar. Her teacher advised her to practice a small amount every day instead of long sessions, so she practiced chords and melodies daily. Some days the music sounded rough. Some days the rhythm felt confusing. But each day her fingers became more familiar with the strings. After several months, her hands moved smoothly. Music flowed naturally. Daily repetition turned effort into skill. Habits also influence emotions and mindset. A person who practices gratitude daily begins to notice positive aspects of life more often. A person who reads daily begins to think more deeply. A person who exercises daily experiences stronger energy and mood. The habits we choose shape the way we experience life. Consider a man named Tariq, who felt negative about many situations. He often focused on problems and disappointments. One evening he decided to start a simple gratitude habit. Every night before sleeping, he wrote 3 things he appreciated about the day. Some days the things were small. A good meal, a kind conversation, a moment of laughter. Over time, this habit trained his mind to search for positive experiences. His mood improved, and his outlook became more hopeful. Habits slowly reshape thoughts and feelings. Another powerful idea is tracking habits. When people record their habits, they become more aware of their progress. Imagine marking a calendar each day after completing a habit. The growing chain of marks becomes a visual reminder of commitment. Breaking the chain becomes less attractive. The mind enjoys seeing the pattern continue. A university student named Zain used this method while learning a new language. Every day he practiced vocabulary and conversation. After practice, he placed a mark on his calendar. As the days passed, the calendar filled with marks. The growing chain motivated him to continue. The habit became part of his identity. Habits also benefit from clear environments. If a person wants to read more books, placing books in visible places encourage reading. If a person wants to exercise, leaving workout clothes ready makes exercise easier. If a person wants to write, placing a notebook on the desk invites creativity. Small environmental changes reduce friction and make habits easier to perform. Imagine a woman named Hina who wanted to drink more water. She often forgot during busy days. So she placed a water bottle on her desk each morning. Seeing the bottle reminded her to drink. The simple change increased her daily water intake and improved her energy. Another important idea is forgiveness when habits break. No person follows habits perfectly every day. Life contains unexpected events, travel, illness, and distractions. Missing a habit once does not destroy progress. What matters most is returning to the habit quickly. People who improve daily focus on recovery rather than guilt. Imagine a student named Salman who studied daily for exams. One evening he attended a family event and missed his study session. Instead of feeling defeated, he resumed his habit the next day. The temporary break did not stop his progress. This mindset protects habits from collapse. Another powerful truth about habits is that they shape identity. When actions repeat daily, they send messages to the brain about who we are. A person who writes daily begins to believe I am a writer. A person who exercises daily begins to believe I am a healthy person. A person who studies daily begins to believe I am a learner. These beliefs strengthen motivation. Identity-based habits create lasting transformation. Imagine a young entrepreneur named Danish who wanted to become disciplined in business. Every morning, he spent 30 minutes learning about marketing, finance, and leadership. At first, it felt like a small study routine. But over time, he began to see himself as a business learner and problem solver. That identity encouraged him to seek knowledge regularly. His business decisions improved and opportunities increased. The daily learning habit shaped his professional identity. Building powerful habits also requires protecting time. Many distractions compete for attention each day. Social media, television, random browsing, and unnecessary activities can consume valuable time. A person who improves daily chooses priorities carefully. They protect small periods of time dedicated to growth. Even 20 minutes used wisely can transform abilities over months and years. Think about the difference between two individuals. One spends 30 minutes daily scrolling through endless content. The other spends 30 minutes reading, learning, or practicing a skill. After 1 year, the difference becomes enormous. Daily habits quietly create different futures. The beauty of habits is that they work even on days when motivation is low. Habits reduce the need for constant decision-making. Instead of asking whether to practice, the person simply follows the routine. This automatic behavior saves mental energy. When habits become part of life, improvement feels natural rather than forced. Imagine a gardener caring for plants. The gardener waters the plants regularly, removes weeds, provides sunlight. These actions become routine. Because of consistent care, the garden flourishes. Daily habits are like watering the garden of personal growth. Each habit nourishes a different part of life. Learning habits grow knowledge. Health habits grow strength. Creative habits grow imagination. Relationship habits grow connection. Over time, these habits shape a balanced and meaningful life. The most powerful part of habit building is not next week, not next month, today. Choose one small action that moves life forward. Practice a skill, read a page, write an idea, take a short walk, learn something new. Repeat the action tomorrow and the day after. Soon the action becomes familiar. Soon it becomes a habit. Soon the habit becomes a strength. Through habits, a person does not merely wish to improve. They create a system that makes improvement inevitable. And with every repeated action, the journey of becoming better every single day continues. Chapter 3. The Power of Small Wins. Many people believe that success only comes from big victories. They imagine dramatic moments of achievement. A huge promotion, a major award, a large breakthrough. But the truth about growth is very different. Most success in life grows from small wins repeated again and again. A small win is a simple achievement that moves a person forward. It may look ordinary. It may look unimportant, but to the person who is improving every day, it becomes powerful fuel for progress. Small wins create momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence encourages further effort. When these three forces combine, a person begins to grow faster and stronger. Imagine climbing a tall mountain. If a person looks only at the distant peak, the climb can feel impossible. The height appears overwhelming. The mind begins to doubt. But when the climber focuses on reaching the next step, the journey becomes manageable. Each step is a small win. Each step proves that progress is possible. Each step brings the climber closer to the top. Life improvement works in the same way. Consider a young student named Haris, who wanted to improve his academic performance. For many years, he struggled in school. Large assignments and complex subjects made him feel discouraged. Instead of trying to change everything at once, he began focusing on small daily achievements. One day he solved 3 difficult problems in mathematics. Another day, he understood a new concept in science. Another day, he completed a reading chapter successfully. Each small success gave him a feeling of progress. At first, the improvement seemed slow, but over several months, his grades improved steadily. The power of small wins transformed his attitude toward learning. Instead of fearing challenges, he began to welcome them. Small wins also change the emotional experience of work. When people only chase large goals, they often feel frustrated because results take time. But small wins provide frequent moments of satisfaction. These moments release positive energy in the mind. They create motivation to continue. Imagine a woman named Samina who wanted to become physically fit. In the past, she tried intense exercise programs that felt exhausting. After a few weeks, she usually stopped. Then she changed her strategy. She began celebrating small progress. The first time she completed a 10-minute walk, she considered it a win. The first time she climbed stairs without feeling tired, she celebrated that moment. The first time she finished a light workout, she recognized the achievement. Each small win strengthened her belief that improvement was possible. Slowly her stamina increased. Her muscles became stronger. Her lifestyle became healthier. The journey continued because small victories kept her motivated. Another example can be seen in the story of a young entrepreneur named Faizan. Faizan started a small online business. During the early months, sales were very low. Many people would have given up at this stage, but Faizan chose to focus on small wins. The first positive customer message became a win. The first repeated customer became another win. The first week with steady orders became a meaningful victory. These small achievements reminded him that progress was happening. As his confidence grew, he continued improving his products and service. After 1 year, his small business became stable and profitable. Without the encouragement of small wins, he might have stopped much earlier. Small wins also help people overcome fear. Fear often appears when a task feels too large or uncertain. Breaking the task into smaller actions reduces the fear. Consider a young man named Bilal, who is afraid of public speaking. Whenever he imagined speaking in front of a large audience, his heart beat quickly, and his mind became anxious. Instead of forcing himself into a large speech, he created a series of small wins. First, he practiced speaking alone in front of a mirror. Then he spoke for 2 minutes with a close friend. Later, he joined a small discussion group. Each successful step increased his confidence. Eventually, he delivered a short presentation in his workplace. The journey from fear to confidence was built from many small victories. Another powerful effect of small wins is clarity. When people work toward a distant goal, they sometimes feel lost. They do not know whether they are improving. Small wins provide clear signals of progress. A writer who completes 1 page experiences a clear achievement. A language learner who memorizes 5 new words experiences progress. A musician who masters a short melody experiences advancement. These small achievements create a visible path forward. Imagine a young woman named Ariba who wanted to learn graphic design. At first, the software tools looked confusing. The interface contained many options and features. Instead of trying to master everything, she created a series of small learning goals. One day, she learned how to adjust colors. Another day, she practiced creating shapes. Another day, she designed a simple poster. Each completed design became a small win. As her collection of designs grew, her skills improved naturally. After several months, she was able to accept freelance projects. Small progress created professional opportunity. Small wins also strengthen discipline. When people experience success in small tasks, they become more willing to continue effort. Discipline becomes easier because the brain associates effort with reward. Consider the example of a university student named Samir preparing for difficult examinations. Instead of attempting long, exhausting study sessions, he divided his work into manageable sections. Completing one chapter became a win. Understanding one complex concept became another win. Finishing a practice test became another achievement. These repeated successes created a rhythm of productive study. By the time exams arrived, he felt prepared and confident. Another interesting aspect of small wins is their ability to change. Many people carry doubts about their abilities. They believe they are not talented enough, not intelligent enough, not strong enough. Small wins challenge these negative beliefs. Every small success sends a message to the mind. You are improving. You are capable. You are progressing. Imagine a young artist named Daniel who doubted his creative ability. He often compared his drawings with professional artists and felt discouraged. One day he decided to focus only on small improvements. Drawing a better eye became a win. Improving shading on a face became another win. Creating a simple portrait became a victory. Over time, his sketchbook filled with evidence of growth. The small improvements built a powerful belief in his potential. Small wins are also extremely important in teamwork. When a group works on a large project, the final result may take months or even years. Celebrating small milestones keeps the team motivated. Imagine a group of engineers building a complex machine. Completing the first prototype becomes a win. Solving a technical problem becomes another win. Successfully testing a component becomes another victory. These moments of progress encourage collaboration and persistence. Without recognizing small achievements, the team might feel exhausted by the long journey. Small wins also improve mental resilience. Life often presents obstacles and unexpected challenges. People who focus only on large goals may feel defeated when difficulties appear, but people who appreciate small progress remain hopeful. Even during difficult times, they can identify steps forward. Imagine a farmer during a challenging season of weather. Heavy rain damages some crops, but the farmer notices small positive signs. New leaves appearing on plants, healthy soil after rainfall, growth in certain areas of the field. These small successes encourage continued effort and patience. Eventually, the harvest still arrives. Small wins also strengthen long-term motivation because they make progress visible. Humans naturally enjoy seeing results. When progress becomes visible, the brain releases positive emotions. These emotions reinforce effort. Consider a young language learner named Miriam studying English. Every week she noticed small improvements. Understanding a new sentence, speaking a longer phrase, reading a short story without translation. Each improvement felt rewarding. These moments encouraged her to continue practicing every day. After 2 years, she spoke the language fluently. Her journey was built from hundreds of small wins. Another benefit of small wins is that they reduce procrastination. Large tasks often create hesitation because the mind expects difficulty. But small tasks feel approachable. Writing one paragraph feels easier than writing a full essay. Practicing 10 minutes feels easier than practicing 2 hours. Cleaning one section feels easier than cleaning the entire house. Once a person begins the small task, they often continue longer than expected. Action creates energy. A student named Noman used this method while preparing a research project. Instead of thinking about the entire report, he focused on writing one page. After writing the first page, he felt engaged with the topic. Soon, he wrote several pages. The small beginning removed the barrier to starting. Small wins also encourage creativity. When people attempt large, perfect results immediately, they often become afraid of making mistakes. But small experiments create freedom to explore ideas. A chef developing a new recipe might test small variations. A designer might sketch small concepts. A scientist might run small experiments. Each experiment provides information and inspiration. Through many small attempts, a successful innovation eventually appears. Small wins also build patience. People learn that progress does not require dramatic change. Growth becomes a steady journey rather than a race. This mindset reduces stress and increases satisfaction. Imagine a man named Rashid who wanted to improve his financial stability. Instead of expecting sudden wealth, he focused on small financial improvements. Saving a small amount each week became a win. Reducing unnecessary expenses became another win. Learning about investment became another step forward. Over time, his financial habits became stronger. Years later, he enjoyed security and independence. Small decisions built a stable future. The most powerful lesson of small wins is simple. Great achievements are collections of many small achievements. A book is written one page at a time. A language is learned one word at a time. Strength is built one workout at a time. Knowledge grows one lesson at a time. People who understand this truth remain patient and persistent. They celebrate progress even when it seems modest, because they know every small step contributes to the larger journey. Improving every single day does not require dramatic victories. It requires recognizing and appreciating small wins. Each small win is a spark of motivation. Each small win strengthens belief. Each small win pushes life slightly forward. Over days, months, and years, those small steps form a powerful path of transformation. And the journey toward becoming better every single day continues with another small. Chapter 4. Overcoming laziness and fear. Every person who wants to improve every day eventually faces two powerful obstacles: laziness and fear. These two forces often appear quietly in the mind. They whisper excuses. They create hesitation. They try to convince a person to stay in comfort instead of moving toward growth. Laziness tells a person that effort is unnecessary. Fear tells a person that effort is dangerous. Together, they form a barrier that stops many dreams before they begin. Understanding these forces is the first step toward overcoming them. Laziness is not always a sign of weakness. Sometimes it appears because the mind feels overwhelmed. Sometimes it appears because a task looks too large. Sometimes it appears because the reward seems far away. Fear often comes from uncertainty. Fear of failure. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of rejection. Fear of the unknown. These emotions are natural parts of human life. Even successful people experience them. The difference is that people who grow every day learn how to move forward despite laziness and fear. Imagine a young man named Hamza who dreamed of becoming a software developer. He often watched videos about programming. He admired people who created applications and websites. But every time he opened a programming book, he felt two strong emotions. Laziness told him that learning code would take too much effort. Fear told him that programming might be too difficult for him. Because of these feelings, he delayed learning for many months. One day, he realized something important. Waiting for motivation would not change his life. So he made a simple decision. He would study programming for only 15 minutes each day. 15 minutes felt manageable. It did not create pressure. During the first week, he learned basic concepts. During the second week, he wrote simple lines of code. As his understanding grew, something interesting happened. The laziness slowly disappeared because the habit became familiar. The fear slowly faded because the unknown became known. Months later, Hamza created his first simple application. The journey began when he decided to move despite laziness and fear. One powerful way to overcome laziness is to reduce the size of a task. Large goals create resistance in the mind. Small actions feel approachable. Imagine a student named Sana who needed to prepare for an important examination. Looking at the entire syllabus made her feel tired before even beginning. Instead of thinking about the entire subject, she divided the material into very small sections. Studying one topic became the goal for the day. Completing a short practice exercise became the next step. Each small action created movement. Soon the habit of daily study replaced the feeling of laziness. Fear often disappears when a person takes the first step. Fear grows stronger when a person only thinks, but when action begins, the mind starts adapting. Consider the example of a young woman named Amina, who feared starting her own business. She worried about losing money. She worried about making mistakes. She worried about what others might say. For a long time, these fears kept her from trying. Then she decided to begin with a very small experiment. She started selling handmade products to a small group of friends and family. This step did not require large investment. It allowed her to learn slowly. Each successful sale reduced her fear. Each customer message increased her confidence. Eventually, she expanded her business online and reached many more customers. Fear had once looked like a giant wall, but small steps created a door through that wall. Another method for overcoming laziness is creating structure. When time is unplanned, the mind easily chooses comfort activities. But when a schedule exists, the path becomes clear. Imagine a university student named Fahad who struggled with procrastination. He often delayed assignments until the last moment. His days felt disorganized and stressful. One day he created a simple daily structure. Morning time for reading and lectures. Afternoon time for assignments. Evening time for review and relaxation. This structure reduced confusion. Instead of deciding repeatedly what to do, he followed the schedule. Gradually, the habit of action replaced the habit of laziness. Fear also loses power when knowledge increases. Many fears come from not understanding a situation. Learning about the challenge reduces uncertainty. Imagine a young athlete named Bilal who felt afraid before competitions. He worried about losing. He worried about performing poorly in front of spectators. His coach advised him to study the mental side of sports. Bilal learned about breathing techniques. He learned about visualization. He learned about focusing on performance rather than outcome. This knowledge gave him tools to manage his fear. During competitions, he practiced calm breathing and clear focus. Instead of feeling controlled by fear, he felt prepared. Another useful strategy is changing the conversation inside the mind. Laziness and fear often speak through negative thoughts. Thoughts such as, "This is too hard. I will probably fail. I should start tomorrow." These thoughts create hesitation. People who improve daily learn to respond with stronger thoughts. Thoughts such as, "I will start with one small step. Progress is more important than perfection. Trying is better than waiting." This internal dialogue shapes behavior. Imagine a writer named Daniel who often delayed writing his articles. Whenever he thought about writing, he told himself that the article must be perfect. This belief created pressure and laziness. Then he changed his thinking. Instead of demanding perfection, he focused on writing a simple first draft. Once the first draft existed, he could improve it later. This change removed the barrier to starting. His productivity increased greatly. Another important idea is energy management. Sometimes laziness appears because the body and mind are exhausted. Sleep quality, physical activity, all influence energy levels. Imagine a man named Tariq who struggled to stay productive at work. He often felt tired and unfocused. After observing his habits, he noticed that he slept very late each night and skipped regular exercise. He decided to improve these habits. He began sleeping earlier and walking each morning. Within weeks, his energy improved. Tasks that once felt exhausting became manageable. Sometimes solving laziness requires caring for physical health. Fear can also be transformed into excitement. Fear and excitement produce similar sensations in the body. Fast heartbeat, heightened awareness, strong energy. The difference is interpretation. If a person interprets these sensations as danger, they feel fear. If they interpret them as opportunity, they feel excitement. Imagine a young speaker named Hiba preparing to give her first presentation. Her heart beat quickly, and her hands felt slightly shaky. Instead of telling herself that she was afraid, she told herself that she was excited to share. This simple change helped her channel nervous energy into enthusiasm. The presentation became engaging and confident. Another method to overcome fear is repetition. The more often a person faces a challenge, the more familiar it becomes. What once felt terrifying becomes ordinary. Imagine a new driver named Zainab learning to drive in city traffic. During the first days, she felt nervous and cautious. But as she practiced daily, the roads became familiar. Her reactions became faster. Her confidence grew. Eventually, driving became a normal part of her routine. Repeated experience transforms fear into skill. Support from other people can also help overcome laziness and fear. Encouragement from friends, mentors, and family provides emotional strength. Imagine a young musician named Salman who doubted his ability to perform on stage. His friends encouraged him to participate in a small local music event. Although he felt nervous, he accepted their support. After performing, he received positive feedback from the audience. That moment gave him courage to continue performing. Sometimes the belief of others helps a person believe in themselves. Another important truth is that failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. People who fear failure often avoid trying, but every attempt provides valuable experience. Consider the story of a scientist conducting experiments. Many experiments may not produce the expected result, but each experiment reveals this information leads to improvement and eventually discovery. Growth requires the courage to continue despite imperfect outcomes. The person who improves daily accepts mistakes as teachers. Overcoming laziness and fear also requires remembering purpose. When a goal has deep meaning, effort becomes easier. Imagine a teacher named Rahima who wanted to improve her teaching skills. She sometimes felt tired after long, but she remembered the purpose behind her effort. Helping students learn, helping young minds grow, helping futures develop. This purpose gave her strength to continue improving her methods. Purpose transforms effort into meaningful work. Another powerful technique is visualizing success. Visualizing the result of consistent effort creates motivation. A runner imagines crossing the finish line. A student imagines receiving a degree. An entrepreneur imagines a successful company. These mental images remind the mind why action matters. Imagine a young photographer named Usman who wanted to improve his craft. Every morning he imagined capturing beautiful images that people admired. This vision inspired him to practice daily. Over time, his photographs gained recognition. His visualized future slowly became reality. The final and perhaps most important lesson is courage. Courage does not mean absence of fear. Courage means acting even when fear exists. Every person who achieves something meaningful has faced moments of doubt, but they move forward step by step. Laziness and fear may appear many times during the journey of growth. They may whisper excuses, but they lose their power when a person chooses action. A single step forward weakens laziness. A single attempt weakens fear. Then another step follows, and another. Soon the path of progress becomes stronger than the voice of hesitation. The person who improves every day understands this truth. Action creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence opens new possibilities. By facing laziness and fear with small daily courage, a person unlocks the potential for extraordinary growth. And the journey toward becoming better every single day continues with renewed strength and determination. Chapter 5. Learning. Faster every day. One of the most powerful ways to become better every single day is learning. Learning expands the mind. Learning increases opportunity. Learning transforms ordinary people into capable and confident individuals. The world changes quickly. New ideas appear. New technologies develop. New challenges arise. A person who continues learning becomes adaptable and strong in this changing world. Learning is not limited to schools or universities. Learning happens in everyday life, through reading, through practice, through observation, through experience. People who improve daily treat life itself as a classroom. Imagine a young boy named Adil who loved asking. Whenever he saw something unfamiliar, he asked how it worked, why it existed, what made it possible. His curiosity became the foundation of his learning. At school, he explored science books. At home, he watched educational videos. In his free time, he experimented with small projects. Because of his curiosity, his knowledge grew rapidly. Curiosity is one of the strongest engines of learning. When a person becomes curious, the mind naturally searches for answers. Imagine a young woman named Mayhak who wanted to learn. At first, she only knew how to take simple pictures with her phone. But she became curious about lighting composition and camera settings. Every day she studied one small concept. One day she learned about natural light. Another day she practiced framing a subject. Another day she experimented with shadows. Her curiosity guided her daily learning. After 1 year, her photographs looked professional. Another important element of faster learning is consistency. Learning a little every day builds stronger memory than learning a lot in one single session. The brain prefers repetition over long, exhausting study. Consider the example of a student named Wakas learning a new language. Instead of studying many hours once a week, he practiced 15 minutes each day. He listened to new words. He repeated simple sentences. He practiced pronunciation. Because his brain encountered the language daily, it adapted more quickly. Within months, he could hold simple conversations. Daily learning creates continuous mental growth. Another powerful strategy for faster learning is active practice. Reading information alone is not always enough. The mind learns deeply when knowledge is used. Imagine a young programmer named Irfan studying computer coding. If he only read programming books, his progress would remain slow. Instead, he practiced writing code every day. He built small programs. He solved simple problems. He experimented with different ideas. Through practice, his understanding became strong. Learning becomes faster when the mind interacts with knowledge. Teaching others is also a powerful learning method. When a person explains an idea to someone else, they must organize their thoughts clearly. This process strengthens understanding. Imagine a university student named Asma studying biology. After learning a concept, she explained it to her younger sister. While explaining, she noticed gaps, so she returned to the book and improved her understanding. By teaching others, she reinforced her own learning. Mistakes also play a crucial role in learning. Many people fear making mistakes because they feel embarrassed. But mistakes reveal where improvement is needed. Consider a young athlete named Hamid practicing tennis. During practice, he often missed shots. Instead of becoming discouraged, he studied each mistake. He observed his foot movement. He adjusted his grip. He improved his timing. Each mistake became a lesson. Over time, his performance improved greatly. Mistakes are not failures. They are instructions for improvement. Another important factor in learning is focus. The modern world contains many distractions. Phones, notifications, entertainment, and social media compete for attention. When attention becomes divided, learning slows down. Imagine a student named Rita trying to study while constantly checking messages. Her mind moved between tasks and concentration weakened. Later, she created a focused study environment. She chose a quiet space. She dedicated uninterrupted time to learning. Her concentration improved, and she understood subjects more quickly. Deep focus allows the brain to absorb information effectively. Another technique for faster learning is reviewing knowledge regularly. Information that is not reviewed can fade from memory. Short daily reviews strengthen retention. Imagine a medical student named Farhan studying complex material. Every evening, he spent a few minutes reviewing the concepts he learned during the day. This habit reinforced his memory. When examination time arrived, he remembered information clearly. Reviewing knowledge turns temporary learning into lasting understanding. Learning also improves when people connect new knowledge with real-life situations. The brain remembers ideas more easily when they relate to practical experiences. Imagine a young chef named Nabila learning about nutrition. Instead of memorizing facts alone, she applied the knowledge while preparing meals. She observed how ingredients influenced flavor and health. By connecting theory with practice, her understanding became deeper. Real-life application strengthens learning. Another powerful habit for learners is reading. Books contain knowledge gathered from many minds across many years. Reading allows a person to learn from scientists, thinkers, artists, leaders, and innovators. Imagine a young entrepreneur named Usman who wanted to understand business. He began reading books about leadership, marketing, and strategy. Every day he read a few pages. These books introduced him to ideas and experiences from successful individuals. The knowledge influenced his decisions and improved his business. Reading regularly expands perspective. Asking questions is another essential learning skill. Questions open doors to deeper understanding. Imagine a classroom where students remain silent even when confused. Learning in such an environment becomes limited. Now imagine another classroom where students ask questions freely. Teachers explain concepts more clearly. Discussions become richer. Understanding becomes stronger. Curious learners ask why, how, and what if. Questions lead the mind toward discovery. Learning faster also requires reflection. Reflection means thinking about what has been learned. At the end of a day, a learner might ask, "What did I learn today? What concept felt difficult? How can I improve tomorrow?" These reflections guide the learning process. Imagine a young designer named Saad improving his skills. After each project, he examined his work carefully. He noticed strengths. He noticed areas needing improvement. This reflection helped him develop better designs with each new project. The environment also affects learning speed. A supportive environment encourages curiosity and experimentation. Imagine a family that values education and discussion. Books are available. Ideas are shared. Questions are welcomed. Children growing in such an environment often develop strong learning habits. But even when the environment is not perfect, individuals can create their own learning spaces. A quiet corner, a notebook, a regular study time. These simple elements support growth. Learning faster does not mean rushing through information. It means learning effectively and consistently. Imagine planting seeds in a garden. Pouring too much water at once does not help the seeds grow faster. Regular care and balanced nourishment allow healthy growth. Learning follows a similar principle. Daily steady learning produces strong understanding. Another valuable approach is learning from many sources. Different teachers' books, videos, and experiences provide different perspectives. Imagine a student studying history. Reading textbooks provides basic information. Watching documentaries provides visual context. Listening to lectures offers interpretation. Discussing with others introduces new viewpoints. Multiple sources deepen knowledge. Learning also becomes faster when the mind remains open. An open mind accepts new ideas and challenges old assumptions. Imagine a scientist exploring new theories. If the scientist refuses to consider unfamiliar ideas, progress stops. But curiosity and openness encourage discovery. An open mind allows continuous growth. Another powerful learning habit is note-taking. Writing ideas in a notebook helps organize thoughts. Notes capture important insights and allow easy review. Imagine a young engineer attending technical workshops. While listening, he writes key points and diagrams. Later, he reviews these notes and applies the ideas in his projects. Note-taking transforms listening into active learning. Learning faster also involves patience. Deep knowledge develops gradually. People who rush through learning often forget quickly. But people who revisit ideas patiently develop mastery. Imagine a musician learning a complex piece of music. The melody may feel difficult at first, but through repeated practice, the fingers learn the movements. Eventually, the music flows naturally. Mastery grows through patient repetition. Another essential principle is learning from experience. Experience teaches lessons that books cannot always provide. Imagine a traveler visiting different cultures. Through direct experience, the traveler understands traditions, language, and customs. This knowledge becomes vivid and memorable. Experience enriches learning. Finally, the most important habit for faster learning is never stopping. The world contains endless knowledge. Every day offers opportunities to learn something new. A new skill, a new idea, a new perspective. People who commit to lifelong learning remain mentally active and adaptable. They continue growing even as years pass. Imagine an elderly man named Karim who loved learning. Even in his later years, he read books, explored technology, and attended community lectures. His curiosity kept his mind sharp and his spirit youthful. Learning is not limited by age. It is powered by curiosity and dedication. A person who learns every day becomes stronger, wiser, and more capable. Each new idea expands possibility. Each new skill opens opportunity. And through continuous learning, the journey of becoming better every single day grows brighter and more powerful. Chapter 6. The Power of Discipline. Many people believe that motivation is the key to success. They believe that strong feelings of inspiration will carry them toward their goals. Motivation can certainly be helpful. It can create excitement and energy in the beginning of a journey. But motivation is not always reliable. Some days motivation feels strong. Other days it disappears without warning. A person who depends only on motivation often stops moving forward when the excitement fades. Discipline is different. Discipline means continuing the work, even when motivation is weak. Discipline means doing what must be done, whether the mood feels perfect or not. People who improve every single day rely on discipline more than motivation. Discipline turns dreams into consistent action. Imagine a young student named Cameron who wanted to become a doctor. The path toward this goal required many years of study. There were difficult subjects, long hours, and challenging examinations. In the beginning, Cameron felt highly motivated. He imagined wearing a doctor's coat. He imagined helping patients and saving lives. But after several months, the excitement began to fade. Some subjects felt difficult. Some days felt exhausting. This is where discipline became important. Cameron created a simple daily routine. He studied at the same time every day. He reviewed lessons regularly. He practiced solving problems even when he felt tired. Through discipline, he continued moving forward. Years later, he achieved his dream and became a doctor. His success did not come from motivation alone. It came from steady discipline. Discipline works like a bridge between goals and results. Without discipline, goals remain dreams. With discipline, goals become achievements. Consider the story of a young athlete named Usman who wanted to become a professional runner. Running required early mornings, regular training, and strict habits. Some mornings the weather felt cold. Some mornings his body felt tired. If he waited for perfect motivation, he would have stayed in bed. But he followed his training schedule every day. He practiced running. He improved his stamina little by little. His discipline slowly transformed his ability. Eventually, he competed successfully in national competitions. Discipline also creates freedom. This idea may sound surprising at first. Many people think discipline feels restrictive. But in reality, discipline removes chaos and confusion. When a person follows disciplined habits, their day becomes organized. Important tasks receive attention. Time is used wisely. Imagine a woman named Hira who worked from home. Before developing discipline, her days felt scattered. She woke up at random times. She worked irregularly. She became distracted easily. After some time, she realized that lack of discipline was reducing her productivity. So she created a daily routine. Morning time for focused work. Afternoon time for meetings and communication. Evening time for rest and personal activities. This disciplined structure improved her productivity and reduced stress. Discipline allowed her to control her time instead of feeling controlled by it. Another important quality of discipline is patience. Disciplined people understand that results take time. They do not expect instant success. They trust the process of daily effort. Imagine a young artist named Rayan learning painting. During the first months, his paintings looked simple and imperfect. Some people might have become discouraged and stopped practicing. But Rayan remained disciplined. Every day he painted something. Some days he practiced colors. Some days he practiced shadows. Some days he painted landscapes. Over time, his skills improved dramatically. Discipline turned practice into mastery. Discipline also strengthens self-respect. When a person keeps promises to themselves, they build trust with their own mind. Imagine telling yourself that you will read 10 pages each day. If you follow through with that promise, your mind learns that your words have meaning. This strengthens confidence and self-control. But if promises are broken repeatedly, the mind begins to doubt itself. Disciplined action builds inner strength. Consider a young entrepreneur named Salman starting a small business. In the beginning, he faced many challenges. Customers were few. Income was uncertain. Work hours were long. Without discipline, he might have given up. Instead, he committed to daily progress. Each day, he improved his product. Each day, he communicated with customers. Each day, he learned something about business. These disciplined actions slowly improved his company. Over time, the business became successful. Discipline also protects people from distractions. The modern world contains endless distractions. Social media notifications, entertainment, and random information compete for attention. A disciplined person learns to protect focus. Imagine a university student named Nadia preparing for final examinations. She realized that constant phone use was reducing her study time. So she created a rule. During study hours, the phone remained away from her desk. This small act of discipline improved her concentration. Her study sessions became more productive. Discipline helps a person choose long-term rewards over short-term comfort. Many important achievements require temporary effort. Exercise requires energy. Learning requires concentration. Creating something valuable requires patience. Short-term comfort may feel attractive in the moment, but disciplined people remember the bigger picture. Imagine a man named Farouk who wanted to improve his health. After long workdays, he often felt tempted to skip exercise. Relaxing on the sofa felt easier, but he reminded himself of his goal to live a healthy and active life. So he followed his exercise routine regularly. Months later, his energy increased. His body became stronger. His confidence improved. Discipline produced results that comfort alone could never provide. Another powerful feature of discipline is reliability. When people become disciplined, others begin to trust them. A disciplined worker completes tasks on time. A disciplined student prepares carefully. A disciplined leader remains consistent. Reliability builds strong relationships and professional opportunities. Imagine a team leader named Bilal managing a group project. His disciplined work habits influenced the entire team. He arrived prepared. He completed responsibilities. He communicated clearly. Because of his consistency, the team respected his leadership. The project succeeded because discipline created stability. Discipline also grows stronger with practice. At first, disciplined actions may feel difficult, but with repetition, they become natural. Imagine a young writer named Mahira who wanted to develop a writing habit. At first, writing daily required effort. She had to remind herself to sit down and begin. But after several weeks, writing became part of her routine. The discipline that once felt difficult became comfortable. Habits transform discipline into lifestyle. Another way to strengthen discipline is removing unnecessary decisions. Too many choices can weaken commitment. Simple routines reduce mental effort. Imagine a student who studies at the same place and same time every day. The routine removes the question of when or where to study. The mind automatically enters study mode. This consistency supports discipline. Support from others can also strengthen discipline. Friends, mentors, and family members who encourage responsible habits create a supportive environment. Imagine a group of friends who meet regularly to study together. Their shared commitment helps each person remain disciplined. Encouragement makes discipline easier. However, true discipline ultimately comes from personal responsibility. Each person must decide how they will use their time and energy. Discipline is a choice repeated every day. A choice to work toward growth rather than comfort. A choice to stay consistent rather than distracted. A choice to follow the path of improvement. The reward for discipline is powerful. Skills improve. Confidence grows, opportunities increase. The person who practices discipline slowly builds a strong foundation for success. Life becomes more organized, more productive, and more meaningful. Discipline is not about perfection. Some days will feel difficult. Some days progress may seem slow, but the disciplined person continues moving forward step by step. Each action strengthens the habit of improvement. Each day adds another layer of progress. Through discipline, a person transforms intention into reality. And by practicing discipline every day, the journey of becoming better continues with strength, consistency, and determination. Chapter 7. Managing Time with Purpose. Every person on earth receives the same amount of time each day. 24 hours. No one receives extra hours. No one receives fewer hours. The difference between people who grow and people who remain stuck often comes from how they use this time. Time is one of the most valuable resources in life. Money can be lost and earned again. Opportunities can return in different forms, but time once passed never returns. A person who wants to get better every single day must learn to manage time with purpose. Managing time does not mean filling every moment with work. It means choosing activities that move life in the right direction. Imagine a young student named Saif. Saif often complained that he had no time to study. His exams were approaching, and he felt unprepared. But when he looked closely at his daily routine, he discovered something surprising. Several hours each day disappeared through random phone use, television, and unnecessary distractions. After realizing this, he decided to reorganize his day. He created specific periods for studying, resting, and relaxing. He reduced time spent on distractions. Within a few weeks, he noticed a powerful change. He had more time for learning and felt less stressed. His success came not from having more time, but from using time wisely. Time management begins with awareness. Many people move through their days without noticing how their hours are spent. Imagine a woman named Aisha who believed she was always busy. But when she wrote down her daily activities, she discovered that many hours were lost in unplanned tasks. After observing her habits, she began organizing her day with intention. Awareness allowed her to take control of her schedule. Another important part of managing time is setting priorities. Not every activity carries equal importance. Some tasks move life forward, while others simply fill empty space. Imagine a young entrepreneur named Haroon starting an online business. Each day he faced many possible tasks: answering messages, improving his product, learning marketing skills, scrolling through random information. If he treated every activity equally, his progress. So he learned to identify the most important actions. Improving his product, serving customers, learning useful skills. By focusing on these priorities, his business grew steadily. Priorities guide time toward meaningful progress. Planning also plays a powerful role in time management. When a person begins the day without a plan, the mind becomes vulnerable to distractions. But when a clear plan exists, the path becomes easier to follow. Imagine a teacher named Rabia preparing for a busy week. Instead of reacting to tasks randomly, she planned her schedule in advance. She prepared lesson materials. She organized meetings. She scheduled time for personal learning. Because of this planning, her week felt calm and productive. Planning turns chaos into clarity. Another helpful technique is dividing large tasks into smaller steps. Large projects can feel overwhelming and lead to procrastination, but smaller tasks feel manageable. Imagine a university student named Fahim who needed to complete a long research report. Looking at the entire project made him feel anxious. So he divided the work into smaller parts. Research information. Write introduction. Develop main sections. Edit and review. Each completed step brought him closer to finishing the report. Small steps transform large tasks into achievable actions. Time management also requires protecting focus. Distractions can silently steal many hours. Notifications, social media, and constant interruptions reduce concentration. Imagine a programmer named Danish working on a complex software project. When his phone constantly interrupted him, his progress slowed. Later, he created focused work periods. During these periods, he removed digital distractions and worked with full attention. His productivity increased dramatically. Deep focus allows time to be used more effectively. Another powerful idea in time management is energy awareness. Not all hours of the day feel the same. Sometimes people feel energetic and creative. Other times they feel tired. Understanding personal energy patterns helps people schedule tasks wisely. Imagine a writer named Sana who noticed that her mind felt most creative in the morning. Instead of using mornings for simple tasks, she reserved that time for writing. In the afternoon, she handled emails and administrative work. By aligning tasks with energy levels, she produced better results. Rest also plays an important role in managing time. Some people believe working constantly leads to success. But without rest, the mind becomes exhausted and productivity decreases. Imagine an athlete named Tariq preparing for competition. Training required effort, but recovery was equally important. Rest allowed his muscles to rebuild and become stronger. In the same way, mental rest helps the brain maintain focus and creativity. Balanced schedules include both work and recovery. Another key principle of time management is learning to say no. Many people fill their schedules with unnecessary commitments because they fear disappointing others. But accepting every request can lead to stress and loss of personal goals. Imagine a designer named Hina who received many requests for small favors and projects. At first, she accepted everything. Soon her schedule became crowded and she had little time for important work. Later, she learned to politely decline tasks. This decision protected her time and improved the quality of her work. Saying no can be a powerful act of self-respect. Technology can also support better time management when used wisely. Digital calendars, reminders, and productivity tools help people organize responsibilities. Imagine a manager named Bilal leading a busy team. He used digital tools to schedule meetings, track deadlines, and organize tasks. These tools helped him manage many responsibilities efficiently. Technology becomes useful when it supports organization instead of distraction. Reflection is another powerful habit for improving time management. At the end of each day, a person can ask simple questions. What did I accomplish today? Which activities were useful? Which activities wasted time? These reflections reveal patterns that can be improved. Imagine a student named Imran who reviewed his study habits every evening. He noticed that certain times of day were more productive than others. By adjusting his schedule, he improved his efficiency. Reflection turns experience into learning. Consistency also strengthens time management. When people follow regular routines, their days become smoother. Imagine waking up at the same time each morning. The body and mind adjust to the rhythm. Morning routines become easier. The day begins with clarity and focus. Routines reduce decision fatigue and create stability. Another valuable idea is using small pockets of time. Many people believe meaningful work requires long, uninterrupted hours. But small periods of time can also produce progress. Imagine a commuter who spends 30 minutes traveling each day. Instead of letting that time pass without purpose, the person listens to educational audio or reads articles. These small moments accumulate into valuable learning. Even 10 minutes used wisely can contribute to daily improvement. Time management ultimately reflects personal values. The way a person spends time reveals what matters most in their life. A person who values health creates time for exercise. A person who values knowledge creates time for learning. A person who values relationships creates time for family and friends. Purposeful time management aligns daily actions with long-term goals. Imagine an elderly man named Kareem reflecting on his life. He realized that the moments he valued most were those spent learning, helping others, and building meaningful relationships. These reflections reminded him that time is not only about productivity, but also about living with intention. Time is the silent foundation of improvement. Every skill practiced, every book read, every conversation held, all exist within moments of time. People who manage time wisely they protect their attention, they follow their priorities, they invest their hours in meaningful action. Day by day, these choices build a life of progress and fulfillment. And through purposeful use of time, the journey of becoming better every single day continues with clarity, direction, and steady advancement. Chapter 8. The Power of The human mind is one of the most powerful forces in life. Every action, every decision, and every habit begins with a thought. Thoughts influence emotions. Emotions influence behavior. Behavior influences results. Because of this powerful connection, the way a person thinks has a strong effect on how their life develops. Positive thinking does not mean ignoring problems or pretending that difficulties do not exist. Positive thinking means choosing a mindset that looks for solutions, growth, and opportunity, even during challenges. People who improve every single day train their minds to think in constructive and hopeful ways. Imagine a young man named Rashid who worked in a small office. Whenever a problem appeared, he immediately believed that the situation would fail. If a project became difficult, he assumed it would collapse. If a task required learning something new, he believed he was not capable. Because of this mindset, he avoided challenges. One day, his manager gave him advice. Instead of saying this cannot work, try asking, how can this work? This small change in thinking slowly transformed his approach. When problems appeared, he began searching for possible solutions. Over time, his confidence improved, and his performance at work became stronger. Positive thinking opened the door to growth. The mind often creates stories about situations. These stories can either empower a person or limit them. Imagine a student named Sana who received a low score on an exam. One possible story could be, I am not smart enough, and I will never improve. Another possible story could be, I need to understand my mistakes and study differently next time. The first story leads to discouragement. The second story leads to learning and improvement. Positive thinking chooses the second path. Another important aspect of positive thinking is self-belief. Believing in personal potential encourages effort. Imagine a young athlete named Hamza who dreamed of becoming a professional football player. During his early training, he often faced stronger players. If he believed that he could never compete with them, he would stop trying. But his coach reminded him that ability grows through practice. Hamza believed that improvement was possible. So he trained daily. He studied techniques. He strengthened his fitness. Over time, he became one of the strongest players on his team. Belief created motivation to continue improving. Positive thinking also influences how people respond to failure. Failure is a natural part of growth. But negative thinking turns failure into a final judgment. Positive thinking turns failure into information. Imagine an inventor named Bilal experimenting with new ideas. Many of his early attempts did not succeed. Instead of feeling defeated, he asked simple questions. What did this attempt teach me? How can I improve the next version? Through repeated learning, his invention eventually succeeded. His positive mindset allowed him to continue despite temporary setbacks. Another powerful effect of positive thinking is emotional strength. Life contains unpredictable situations. Unexpected challenges, loss, and disappointment can appear without warning. A positive mindset helps people remain calm and resilient during these moments. Imagine a woman named Nadia who lost her job during a difficult economic period. Instead of believing that her future was ruined, she chose to see the situation as an opportunity to explore new possibilities. She spent time learning new professional skills. She connected with different organizations. She explored career paths she had never considered before. Within several months, she found a new position that offered greater growth. Her positive thinking helped her transform a difficult moment into a new beginning. Positive thinking also improves relationships. People who carry hopeful and encouraging attitudes often inspire others. Imagine a teacher named Farah working with students who struggled in school. Instead of labeling them as weak learners, she believed that each student had potential. Her encouraging words and supportive attitude motivated students to try harder. Many of those students improved their performance because someone believed in them. A positive mindset spreads energy to others. Another powerful habit for developing positive thinking is gratitude. Gratitude means recognizing. Many people focus only on problems and difficulties. But when a person practices gratitude, their mind begins to notice positive experiences more often. Imagine a man named Tariq who felt stressed by daily responsibilities. One evening, he started writing down 3 things he appreciated about each day. Sometimes the moments were simple: a peaceful walk, a supportive friend, a successful task at work. Over time, this habit changed his perspective. He still faced challenges, but he also recognized the many good moments in his life. Gratitude balanced his thinking and improved his mood. Positive thinking also requires protecting the mind from negative influences. The information people consume shapes their thoughts. Constant exposure to negativity, criticism, and discouragement can weaken motivation. Imagine a young entrepreneur named Salman who often listened to people saying that starting a business was impossible. Their pessimistic opinions created doubt in his mind. Later, he began surrounding himself with books, mentors, and communities that encouraged learning and creativity. This positive environment strengthened his confidence and determination. Environment influences mindset. Visualization is another useful technique for strengthening positive thinking. Visualization means imagining successful outcomes clearly in the mind. Athletes often use this technique before competitions. They imagine performing their movements successfully. They imagine achieving their goals. This mental rehearsal prepares the brain for action. Imagine a young singer named Ayesha preparing for an important performance. Before stepping onto the stage, she closed her eyes and imagined herself singing confidently. She imagined the audience enjoying the music. This visualization reduced her nervousness and increased her focus. Positive images prepared her mind for success. Another key element of positive thinking is using encouraging language. The words people use internally and externally influence emotions. Imagine a person saying, "I will try and see what happens." Now imagine the same person saying, "I will do my best and learn from the experience." The second statement carries stronger determination. Language shapes mindset. Positive thinking also helps people remain patient during long journeys. Many goals require time and persistence. Without a hopeful mindset, the process may feel discouraging. Imagine a scientist conducting research for many years before achieving a discovery. If the scientist believed that success was impossible, progress would stop. But believing that effort would eventually produce results encouraged continued work. Hope fuels perseverance. Positive thinking does not remove all problems from life. Challenges will still appear. Unexpected situations will still arise. But a positive mindset changes how a person responds to those situations. Instead of feeling powerless, the person searches for solutions. Instead of feeling defeated, the person continues learning. Instead of giving up, the person adapts and tries again. Another important idea is balance. Positive thinking should remain realistic. Blind optimism without effort does not create results. Positive thinking works best when combined with action, discipline, and learning. Imagine a farmer hoping for a successful harvest. Hope alone does not grow crops. The farmer must prepare the soil, plant seeds, water the fields, and protect the plants. Hope and effort together create results. Positive thinking provides the energy, while action provides the progress. Over time, positive thinking becomes a habit. The mind learns limitations. Problems become puzzles to solve rather than walls that stop progress. Confidence grows because the person believes that improvement is always possible. Imagine looking at life through two different lenses. One lens focuses on difficulty, doubt, and fear. The other lens focuses on opportunity, learning, and growth. Both lenses see the same world but interpret it differently. People who improve every single day choose the lens of positive thinking. This mindset strengthens courage, creativity, and persistence. With positive thoughts guiding actions, a person becomes more capable of facing challenges and discovering opportunities. And through this hopeful and constructive mindset, the journey of becoming better every single day continues with confidence, optimism, and determination. Conclusion. The journey of becoming better. Every single day. Every person begins life with potential. Inside every human being exists the ability to grow, learn, and transform. Some people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment to change. They wait for motivation. They wait for opportunity. They wait for luck. But the people who truly transform their lives understand a powerful truth. Improvement begins with small actions repeated every single day. Throughout this journey, we have explored many ideas that help a person grow. The decision to improve, the creation of daily habits, the importance of small wins, the courage to overcome laziness and fear, the power of learning, the strength of discipline, the wisdom of managing time, the mindset of positive thinking. Each of these ideas forms a piece of a larger picture, the picture of a life built through steady progress. Becoming better every day does not require dramatic changes or sudden miracles. It requires awareness. It requires effort. It requires patience. A person who reads a few pages every day slowly becomes knowledgeable. A person who practices a skill every day slowly becomes skilled. A person who chooses positive thoughts every day slowly develops a stronger mindset. The power of daily improvement comes from accumulation. But over time, they create extraordinary results. Imagine a tiny drop of water falling onto a stone every day. At first, nothing appears to change. But after months and years, the stone begins to show a mark. Eventually, even a hard surface can be shaped by consistent drops. Human progress works in a similar way. Daily effort shapes character. Daily learning shapes intelligence. Daily discipline shapes success. Another important lesson in this journey is patience. In a world that moves quickly, many people expect instant results. But meaningful growth takes time. A tree grows slowly. A skill develops gradually. A dream becomes reality, step by step. People who understand this remain calm during the process. They trust the value of consistent action. They know that progress may be invisible at first, but powerful over time. The journey of self-improvement also requires courage. Courage to face challenges. Courage to learn from mistakes. Courage to continue when progress feels slow. Every successful person has faced moments of doubt and difficulty. What separates them from others is not perfect ability, but persistent effort. They continue walking even when the road becomes difficult. They continue learning even when mistakes appear. They continue believing even when the outcome is uncertain. Improvement also becomes easier when people remember their purpose. Purpose gives meaning to effort. A student studies not only for grades, but for the knowledge that shapes their future. An athlete trains not only for victory, but for the strength that builds character. A worker improves skills not only for income, but for the ability to create a better life. Purpose transforms daily tasks into meaningful progress. Another important idea is balance. Improving every day does not mean exhausting oneself. Growth includes rest, reflection, and appreciation of life, healthy relationships, moments of peace, time with family. These experiences provide emotional strength and happiness. A balanced life creates long-lasting progress. The most inspiring truth about improvement is that it is available to everyone. It does not depend on wealth. It does not depend on special privilege. It begins with choice. The choice to learn something today. The choice to practice something today. The choice to think positively today. Anyone can take a small step forward. And when these steps continue day after day, they lead to powerful transformation. Imagine two people standing at the beginning of a year. One person decides to remain the same. The other person decides to improve just a little every day. After 1 year, the difference becomes remarkable. The second person becomes stronger, more skilled, more confident, and more prepared for opportunity. This transformation happens not through sudden change, but through daily effort. Improvement is a lifelong journey. There is always a new skill to learn, a new idea to explore, a new habit to build. Life continues offering chances for growth. The person who embraces this journey never stops evolving. They remain curious. They remain open-minded. They remain committed to becoming better. Perhaps the most beautiful part of daily improvement is the way it shapes character. Through discipline, people develop reliability. Through learning, people develop wisdom. Through perseverance, people develop resilience. These qualities create a strong and admirable individual. As the journey continues, the person not only improves themselves, but also influences others. A disciplined worker inspires colleagues. A positive thinker encourages friends. A lifelong learner motivates younger generations. Growth spreads from one person to another. The decision to improve every day becomes a gift to the world. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with a simple intention. To become slightly better than yesterday. Not perfect, not extraordinary. Just a little better. Maybe you read a few pages. Maybe you learn a new idea. Maybe you help someone. Maybe you practice a skill. These actions may appear small, but they represent powerful progress. Another day arrives, and the process continues. Little by little, the person you become begins to change. Confidence grows. Knowledge expands. Possibilities increase. Over time, the life you once imagined begins to take shape. The journey of becoming better every single day is not about reaching a final destination. It is about embracing growth as a way of living. Each day becomes an opportunity. An opportunity to learn. An opportunity to improve. An opportunity to move forward. No matter where you begin, the path is always available. One small step today, another step tomorrow. And with each step, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. The future is built by the actions of the present moment. So begin today. Choose progress. Choose discipline. Choose learning. Choose positive thinking. And allow the simple commitment of becoming better every single day to guide you toward a life of purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. The end.
Kindly subscribe to my channel.